When you do look at the audience scores so far, the critics were pretty meh on this movie, which, I mean, it's not really a movie that you expect the critics to enjoy. Anyway, the audience seems to be enjoying what they're getting. And right now, we just got the numbers for opening weekend. Despite only making $67 million domestically, it's got a $320 million global opening, higher than Thor, higher than Guardians of the Galaxy. But when you look at everything in the grand scheme of things, how much money is coming from China, how big the budget is for this movie, this has a long, long way to go before it even thinks about making money. Box office, FASTX opens to soft, $67.5 million domestically, revs to $519 million globally. Obviously, that's enough to knock Guardians down from that top spot. Guardians still had a decent, 50% drop, around $30 million domestically as it finally gets some competition. Had a big drop internationally as well, especially in China. But what can FASTX do is the question, because it's one thing to have $320 million opening. When you look at the Fast and Furious franchise, what they've done, when you look at Fast 9, right now the domestic's comparable to Fast 9. That's a movie that made $719 million worldwide. That's a good chunk of money, especially if you have like a $200 million budget. If you have a $340 million budget, like Fast X, you need to make like $1 billion fucking dollars just to break even. Especially when so much of that money's coming from China. We talk about this a lot, Jeremy. When you have, it does have a big number. The best opening in China of 2023. It made more in China opening weekend than it did here in America. $77 million over the 5-day weekend in China than the $67.5 million here. But the studio doesn't get a lot of that. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. Full disclosure, I went to go see this movie and I tried to watch the movie and I fell asleep during the movie. Not because I didn't like it or because I was bored or anything. I was really fucking tired. I probably shouldn't have gone to a movie then, but I did. So I don't even know how this thing ended. But it was very stereotypical fun. Brie Larson is in the movie. I liked Brie Larson in the movie, by the way. But yeah, I mean, solid numbers, pretty soft domestic, but that's what we're used to for the Fast and Furious franchise. What do you see? Do you see this with all the competition coming out, being able to do $1 billion?
The word of mouth right now is a lot stronger than I anticipated. People really do seem to enjoy it for what it is. And maybe it's just finally at a point where people just understand this is exactly what you're getting. This is a superhero movie by all definitions. It's a superhero movie. Dominic Toretto is a superhero. And I think that they just continue to lean into it more and more. And from the word of mouth I'm seeing, this has been one of the better talked about fast movies in a long time. So I do think it has a real shot at getting to $1 billion. It has a shot at maybe competing with Mario for the highest grossing movie of the year overall worldwide box office.